Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Sim Experience SA Sim Experience Global 2.5 hour of the Nürburgring. This is our 2024 Endurance Series in rFactor. Today we are at, of course, the NORDSCHLIEFE, Nürburgring NORDSCHLIEFE. This, of course, is round 5 of our championship. Comes to you from the NORDSCHLIEFE. The next round will be the final round from the Daytona circuit in the United States. I'm not sure if we'll be joined by Xavier today, but I've asked him to join us, and maybe he'll join us. We'll see if he's able to join us. It'd be nice if he does. Otherwise, we might have Rudy joining us and possibly some of our drivers joining us on commentary today. This, of course, is in Nuremberg in Germany. It is a 25-kilometer circuit, 25.321 kilometers or 15.7 miles. We have actually given our drivers a slightly longer qualifying as per normal. Normal, they just have 15 minutes, which is usually enough to get one lap in or maybe 2 laps. But because of the length of the circuit, we've given them 30 minutes. Although we have just under or just over 15 minutes left. We'll join the live feed shortly. But the drivers are on circuit, busy warming themselves up at the moment, getting their laps in. The circuit we have has actually got a modification, which does allow you to, of course, take a shortcut. So you do the Grand Prix circuit and then you turn onto the main straight and start your lap. You don't have to do the whole 25 kilometer on your out lap. And unfortunately, one driver has done that twice and put in a time, so we will adjust that when we go into the actual race. That driver will be moved down accordingly. So you will see that driver is in pole position. That is not correct. It is incorrect. That will be adjusted shortly. All right, so our schedule, of course, today is the NORDSCHLIEFE. Today on the 20th of October. And the next round will be the 24th of November. So looking forward to that. That, of course, will be the free version of Daytona, not the DLC. So anyone wanting to join, you don't have to buy the track. It'll be just a download from the Steam Workshop. Just download the track, download our skins, and you can come join. It'll be our final round. So if anyone would like to join, just head down to the link below and join the Discord, and you're welcome to come join us. Our points for the rounds. It is 25 points for first place all the way down to 10th place. You get a single point. There's a point for pole position and a point for the fastest lap. And our points coming into this round for the teams, this is a team championship. So we have Team Shibber 1 in first place on 82 points. Team Shibber 2 in second place on 53. NXT Sim Racing 1 on 45 points. They're in third place. In fourth place, Full Throttle on 38 points. Fifth place, we have Sim Experience Global 1 on 34 points. In 6th place, we have NXT Sim Racing 2 on 30 points. 7th place, Team RS Grip Level on 26 points. In 8th place, RR Racing with 20 points. In 9th place, Sim Experience Global 3 on 18 points. And in 10th place, Vortex Motorsports Bad Boys on 6 points. Alright, I believe that we can go to our live feed any moment now. I am just going to get everything ready for us so that we can jump to the live feed and hopefully everything just works as it should. I'm just making sure I have everything ready for us to just transition over to it. And make sure that I get the right feed for us. Right, we are now live. Welcome to the live feed. Of course, it is qualifying for round 5 of the championship. This is a 30-minute qualifying. We don't have 30 minutes, we have 12 minutes actually left. This is round 5 from the NORDSCHLIEFE with the Nürburgring 24-hour circuits in Germany. I'm your commentator Dennis Mitchell, and I might be joined by Xavier later on today. I might be joined by Rudy later today. I might be joined by some of our drivers later today. So hopefully we'll have some extra commentary here today. Quite a small field. A couple of the drivers not able to make it today, unfortunately. Alright, let's get our timings up for now. Alright, we are now live. A couple of drivers have disconnected with some hardware issues. They will be rejoining shortly. So commentary will be a bit slow as we get going here. I'm going to preserve my voice as best I can. One of the drivers is rejoining now. I think that is Carrot. I know Gerrit had issues with his wheel and force feedback, so hopefully he will rejoin shortly. So at the moment we have Rabellini in provisional pole, but that lap was done with a shortcut lap. We have a shortcut for the out lap, and if you do that twice it actually records the time, and unfortunately he has done that, so that's why it's showing the incorrect time for him. The official pole position, provisional pole position, is Lorenzo at the moment on a 8:02. In second place we have Davide Lupi on a 8:10. Third place David Jones on a 8:26. Fifth place or fourth place is 8:27 from 1A Deploy. Alex Gadicki in 8:28 in fifth place. Sam Bezadnote in sixth place, 9:19. Julian Brains in seventh place. Andre Hildebrandt in 8th place. Gerrit is in 10th place. And the driver that's showing your name, that is Dinesh Singh. For some reason his game is not showing his name. He has tried to change it, but we know that is actually Dinesh Singh. So Dinesh will just have to drive as your name from now on. But we will just have to remind everyone who he is when we see him. I actually wonder if I possibly have... I don't have a introduction for him, unfortunately. Right, so Lorenzo heading around onto the NORDSCHLIEFE. The start of the official NORDSCHLIEFE. Perhaps we can just go on board with Lorenzo while we're just watching Lorenzo for now. Oh, big slide there. Lorenzo's fast, but definitely looks very, very ragged, very much on the edge at the moment. Lots of rear end instability, which is, I guess, fine for qualifying. That might just be his qualifying setup, but if that's his race setup, it's going to be a bit dangerous, because you need to last 2.5 hours, and that's certainly not what you want to be sliding around like that. Right, so some of the other drivers, we have Monet Deploy currently shown in 5th place. That means he's actually in 4th place. With the corrected times, that is. We also have David Jones on circuit. Driving there, some experienced Ferrari. Some experience too. We haven't seen the Ferrari for a while. Unfortunately, Chris is not with us today, but our thoughts are with you, Chris. Hopefully everything is going smooth and well that side. And David Jones actually puts on the fastest final sector of anybody, and improves his time, and he jumps up to 3rd place overall. In fact, I think he was actually 3rd place overall at that point. Sam Bezadnote also in a Ferrari. Oh, getting a bit of a slide on there. Oh, perhaps a bad time to be jumping to stand. Hope it wasn't accommodator's curse. Andre Hildebrandt, our lonesome Porsche in the race. Driving for the Baltic Esports team. Unfortunately, we don't have Morris van Veek with us, his teammate. So for those new to watching the championship did start off as 4-hour races. We were hoping to do longer races as the championship went on with teams and do driver swaps, but attendance was a problem with most of the teams having drivers doing other championships. We didn't have all the guys attend at once. We had over 30 odd guys that have actually signed up, but we never had them all join at once, unfortunately. So as a result, we've just gone down to a solo championship just to try and increase numbers a bit. And even so, for this round, we only have 10 guys at the moment, or 11 guys. I think we might have the 11th driver joining again, which would be Dinesh. Under onto the long back straight. In the background, we also have, I believe that's Michael Rabellini in the background. Michael's time, the 1:47 is his shortcut time. But we'll see now what his actual time is as he comes around the final part of the circuit. Lap time here is sort of lowish, 8 minutes. Our current provisional pole is at 8 minutes 2 seconds, 0.431. And Michael did a 9:04. Davide Lupi currently in provisional second place. The Team Shipper guys are right up there again. So we have just over 5 minutes left to go. Drivers can head out and do a lap because the out lap is the Grand Prix circuit. That is your out lap, and then you take the shortcut and start a lap. So we're looking at an out lap of about 1 minute 50 roughly. Alright, so want to deploy currently. Sorry, I was clicking on want to deploy and the driver position's changed. Want to deploy currently on a lap. Personal best in sector 1, slightly slower in the middle sector. Let's see how his final sector works out from here. Does he improve? He does not, unfortunately. Although actually he did improve slightly. Sorry, my apologies. Right, we have Gerrit Bierkes also on track at the moment. Gerrit has joined in with the BMW. Unfortunately, he joined late, so as a result of that, he didn't have time to get his car sorted out and all of those sort of things. So he's actually jumped in a car that he drove in a previous championship, one of the sim experience cars. So he drove the BMW in a 24-hour race that we did here. There were 6 of us that did that race as Sim Experience Global. It was a great race to drive, and we had a lot of fun doing that, and it was quite challenging. But that's kind of what's evolved into this championship starting. It was our experience in that, or certainly my experience in that, and I decided we need to share this more. So we didn't have that many guys sign up for this championship, but hopefully we will have a lot more guys joining up. We'd like to still push endurance racing, and we know rFactor is still very good for endurance racing. The driver swap side of it, the weather changes, all of that is very good. Of course, we are running real weather at the moment, so the weather we see here is the real weather that we have currently in Germany. So Gerrit is on an out lap. We are going to follow Gerrit for a lap. Since he is about to start his lap, he's just decided to pit. I thought he might actually finish a lap. Alright, guess not. He does have time to go out again. I believe this is a timed lap for Andres. He's still on the Grand Prix circuit, so it's near the start of the lap. Right, hopefully all audio levels are fine. Haven't had any comments yet from YouTube, but if everything's alright, just give me a shout. Let me know that everything's okay in the YouTube channel. And Andre comes into the pits. Alright, so the only driver on track at the moment is Lorenzo. Lorenzo is also on a lap, so this might be a fast timed lap. This might be the last lap. So Lorenzo currently in provisional pole position. This might just be going for a personal best, personal gratification, see if he can push himself a bit harder. But at the moment he is in provisional pole position on an 8:01.338. That is a mighty lap there. Nice and smooth there. Okay, so he's coming back this way. Alright, Right, he's now starting a lap. Okay, he now starts his time lap. He did the shortcut there. Now the only driver on circuit, so this will be the last lap we get to watch. We now get to see a full lap of the Nordschleife. That is, of course, if he completes it, he will be, I'm sure, pushing his utmost to see if he can get a better lap. Oh, quite a slide there. Nicely held. I think probably lost a little bit of momentum. Keeping it nice and tight. There's a different line. You can take a wider line in, and late apex, he's choosing to take the tighter line in. Heading up to the Schumacher S's, you've got to use quite a lot of curb here. Sometimes if you use just too little on the curbs a little bit, it'll unsettle it. You need to get on top of the curb. Once again, go wide over here, over the green there as well. Get the car using the curbs. Turn it nice and tight. Get on the power early. Drift out wide. Use the exit curb as well. I believe this is what the Vidal chicane coming up here. Be quite aggressive over these curves. Flick the car left and right, over to the right, then flick it in nice and early. Keep it tight as well. Slightly off camber there. Oh, car got very loose there. Turning nice and early here as well. Oh, keep it to the right. Now you flick it over again to the right once again. I'm going to try a straight line there, so it's over to the left, over to the right. Use the curb on the next part here. The curb there, over the curb here, over the curb here. Basically hop the curbs. Where you can see the bricks, they can use it. So there you can go over the curb. A little bit over the curb here is fine, but try not to go too much over it. Watch the crest here. And the GT3 cars is not really too much of a problem. This second crest here, you can, as you come over it, you flick the car in, you can go flat out through here as well. And down the hill, a nice fast sweeping left into a very, very tight right-hander. Through that sweeping left, depending on the car setup, most of the guys will be running a one rear wing. So, yeah, you turn it nice and early, it should be fine. Brake early enough. Bit loose on the turn in there. Straight line these corners here. A little bit of a dip. And then you hit the brakes. Turning nice and early. Once again, turning nice and early. Make a tighter line here. It's slightly wide. And up onto the curb there. You didn't take as much curb as you perhaps could have. Too much on that curb. Oh, and lost a bit there. And that is the lap aborted. Unfortunately, that is it for qualifying. We'll be back shortly for the race. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back everybody. Sorry about the long delay. We had a bit of a problem with some of our cars, so unfortunately our Ferrari drivers have had to change cars. So let me first do our introduction. So welcome everyone. This of course is the Sim Experience SA 2024 Sim Experience Global Endurance Series. So the Sim Experience Global is our endurance branch of Sim Experience SA. This is, we get to it eventually, round 5 of our six round championship from the NORDSCHLIEFE in Germany. The next round will be from the Daytona International Circuit in the United States. Our points allocation for this, so we have 25 points for first place, all the way down to 10th place will be a single point, 1 point for pole position and 1 point for the fastest lap. Coming into this round we have Team Sugar 1 on 82 points, Team Sugar 2 on 53 points, NXT Sim Racing 1 on 45 points, Full Throttle on 38 points, Sim Experience Global 1 on 34 points, NXT Sim Racing 2 on 30 points, Team RS Group Level on 26 points, RR Racing on 20 points, Sim Experience Global 3 on 18 points, and Vortex Motorsports Bad Boys on 6 points. Alright, we do have our drivers doing a formation lap. It is a very short formation lap. They'll just be doing the Grand Prix circuit, so let's have a look at our starting order for that. So in pole position we have Lorenzo, in second place we have Davide, in third place David, and in fourth place Monet. I'm just going to read first names, it's just easier, and I can't pronounce some of the other names. So Alex in fifth place, Andre in sixth place, Michael in seventh place, and Julian in eighth place. In ninth place we have Stan, and in 10th place we have Gerrit. Expect some of those positions to change. Unfortunately, some of the drivers weren't able to make it. Some of the drivers were, but weren't able to practice, so they've just jumped in last minute. So a lot of things could change as the race progresses. I think Lorenzo is pretty much the fastest driver here at the moment, and I don't know that he'll be challenged. I think Gerrit could be a big dark horse. He might come from the back and work his way forward quite nicely. I think David also might be an interesting one to watch. He's now changed into the BMW. He's been practicing in the Ferrari, and now suddenly he's driving the BMW. Has just been given a setup, so hopefully he will adapt to that. We'll see if that works better or worse for him. Alright, so the drivers are just doing the Grand Prix circuit, so they will now peel off onto the NORDSCHLIEFE, so they will turn left now, and the race will then be on. Right, the drivers heading on their way. Look like David in second, wasn't too sure whether we were going to go or not. Right, the drivers are now on their way. I'm going to try and get as much of everything up and running as I can. Ooh, someone running a bit wide there. There's David there. Ooh, David there into the barrier. Struggling to get the hang of the BMW by the looks of things. I'm sure he's going to be wanting to push on as quick as he can. He looks like he might have got some damage. I hope for his sake it's not too bad. That could mean that Monet has got past, and he has got past, I think. David is dropping like a stone at the moment. I think he's critically damaged there. Julian Brains challenging Andre Hildebrandt at the moment, so Julian going strong at this point in the race, with Michael Robellini behind him and Gerrit Birkus right there behind. Here comes Julian. We go up the inside here. Looks like he got good drive there. Is ahead already. Oh, nicely done by Julian. So a driver to watch coming through the field might be Gerrit. Stan Bezadno has had an incident, as has David Jones, which they are struggling a little bit with the car change. Ooh, Michael heading off there, just clipping Andre Hildebrandt. It looks like, I think Gerrit takes advantage of that. Does he get past them both? He does. So Gerrit up to 6th place thanks to an incident. Michael just getting a little bit too hot on the brakes. going over the dirt. Unfortunately, just contact with Andre Hildebrand there. Thankfully, they didn't take anyone out. And as a result, Gerrit Beekers has managed to slip by. So in the front, we have Lorenzo. He's just going to be pulling away now. He's got a bit of a gap at the moment. Currently the gap, actually not showing the gap at the moment. I guess that will show when they cross the start-finish line. But not too far back, we can see David A in the background. In third place currently we have Monet Deploy. Monet, of course, has been involved in endurance racing for a while. He does run his own community as well. They also focus on endurance racing. So Monet, having come from our series, then ended up doing his own and has now been driving with us in our endurance. So good to have him back here and getting involved in the endurance side of things. Then in fourth place we have Alex in the only Audi, now being challenged by Julian Brain. So Julian actually going very strong at this point of the race, now challenging for fourth place. Nicely done there by Julian. Right, Alex will now be watching the back. Will he be able to stick to the back of Julian? Alex did seem to be quite fast in the practice session, so we did seem to do quite a lot of laps. And let's see if it's going to pay off. Maybe he's just not fast at this phase of the race. Maybe he'll come strong as the race progresses. Watching some footage in the background. Sorry if I'm a bit quiet. I'm not going to speak too much. Hopefully I can preserve my voice as best as possible this way. So Gerrit Beekers currently in 6th place. The gap between himself and Alex is currently 4.6 seconds. The gap between first and second, 3.1 seconds. Between second and third, it is 6.2 seconds. Between second and third. Third and fourth is 3 seconds. And the gap at the moment with Julian is still quite close. So Julian is right there with Monet. Not sure why, but my timings are showing incorrectly. It's showing that Alex is right behind Julian, but he's not. It looks like it's actually Julian that's right behind Monet. So I'm a little bit confused by our timings. Right, so it's a long race, still 2 hours 23 minutes to go. We'll see how many of the drivers that have had incidents at the start. So the drivers that both changed cars, they've obviously struggled a bit and had incidents. Let's see if either of them can recover. So we have Stan Bezuidenhout currently driving in the Mercedes-Benz. He's just jumped into one of the NXT cars just so that he can drive. So he'll be learning the car, learning the circuit. He is fairly familiar with the car, but not on this circuit at the moment. And I don't know that he has a setup. Afternoon, Stanton. Pity you can't make it today, but it's good to have you in the comments or on the YouTube. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't, Stan. Right, so in the background, I'm also seeing some action here between Michael Rabellini and Andre Hildebrandt. I think that was a pass. Andre Hildebrandt just being passed by Michael Rabellini. Andre running slightly wide there, as his standard Z note. And the other car change was David Jones. David went from the Ferrari into the BMW, so quite a change from he's got to get used to the car. And I believe he had damaged the car. I don't think he's had a chance yet to get around and repair the car. So I'm not sure if he's just getting a feel for it or if he's just limping around. It's a long way to limp around. And this is the big thing with NORDSCHLIEFE. You have to take it easy, because if you do have an incident, it will bite you very, very quickly. And speaking of incidents, I believe one of the cars has had an incident. I'm just not sure which one it was. Once again, we have a yellow. If it is Stan Bazadner that had a bit of an incident on the straight. Unfortunately, Stan has hit the wall somewhere, but he did manage to get going again. So the NORDSCHLIEFE, you learn several things driving here. So we did as a team Some Experience Global, entered a 24-hour race, and the things that we've taken from this is, first of all, you need to learn to pace yourself. Second of all, you can't win the race in the first corner. Take it easy, make sure that you get to the end, and when you do have a problem, go to the pits, fix the car, and head back out, because you never know, all the other drivers could also have problems. And just when you think your race is over, some of them have problems, and you end up managing to get a few places back. So we have both David and Stan in the pits at the moment. They will both be repairing their cars. As we see, there's David also having his car worked on. So they're both going to repair their cars, head back out, and then see if they can make up some time. So the driver that will be ahead of them will be Michael Rabellini. So Michael currently in 8th place. He's going to have quite a gap. And then just in front of him we have Andre Hildebrandt. So Andre is now up to 7th place. Gerrit Beek is still in 6th place. So we'll see if Gerrit will now start to catch up to the other guys at all. Gerrit also had been driving the Aston Martin, but he is familiar with the BMW, has driven it before. He's very rusty, and as I say that there, off he goes. That's quite a big one. He's going to have to limp around now to fix the car. And that's very unfortunate for Gerrit. I'm pretty sure Gerrit has got good pace in that car around here. I know he has, because we've raced together around here. But obviously not familiar with it, having just jumped in, having to change car. So Julian Brain's currently in 4th place. So lots of incidents happening, and we're basically only 14 minutes into the race. So the guys that make it to the end, that is the biggest challenge. You need to get to the end before you can worry about points. So just keep it clean, keep your nose out of the barrier, and then see what comes from that. This is the thing with endurance racing. It's not sprint racing. You don't want to go flat out straight away, have a problem, and then it's over. You need to pace yourself. You need to make sure you're there at the end. Let the race come to you. So currently Alec in the Audi in 5th place. So not going too badly. He's at least there. His pace is a little bit off at the moment to what I think I had seen him being on the server before. He was doing much quicker laps. But let's see how it goes as the race progresses. Maybe he'll just warm up to it. Oh, we have a DNF for Gerrit. So unfortunately, I guess the damage for Gerrit was just too bad. He's not able to repair the car. I'm going to take a quick break. I will be back shortly. Alright everyone, I am back. See, there's quite a lot of action happening. I'm trying to click on things while I'm in the background trying to fix other issues. We have Andre Hildebrand is currently in the pits, so he's a driver that is in the pits. We have a DNF for Gerrit Beckers. He mistakenly pushed the escape key and that gave him a DNF. I have tried to remove it, but it doesn't want to remove it. So I did try, but it unfortunately won't allow that. So unfortunately we have lost the driver. I'm going to see if I can perhaps bring Gerrit in. So let me just see if I'm able to find Gerrit, if he's around. He is around. Right, I'm going to just mute myself here and then bring Gerrit in. I'll be right back with the audio. Alright, I am back. Just trying to help Carrot get going again, but for some reason we can't remove his DQ, so I believe that is the end of Carrot's race. We have Julian Brains currently in the pits as well. I'm not sure if that is a scheduled stop or not. I know I did see him a bit ragged early on, so we'll see. Is this just a pit stop? Is this for repairs? Just fuel? Is it tires? We'll keep an eye on that. So currently the fastest lap of the race is 8 minute 13.291 by Lorenzo de Plutus. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name too badly. And in second place, Davide Lupi on a 8:16.8. Third place, Monet Deploy on a 8:31.624. In fourth place, Alex is on a 8:33.399. In fifth place, Julian on 8:34.199. So those three are very close. Third, fourth, and fifth are very, very close on their times. In sixth place, Michael Rabellini on a 9:09. Andre Hildebrandt in seventh place on a 9:53.1. David Jones currently has not put in his fastest time yet because of his incident, but he is on track at the moment. He did do his fastest middle and last sector on the last lap, so we'll see how his next lap pans out. We have another driver in the pits. I believe that's Michael Rabellini currently in the pits. And Stan Bezednert currently on a... also hasn't done a proper time because he also happened to have been to the pits, and Gerrit Bierkes, his time not relative because he also had an incident. So unfortunately one driver out with a low field is not nice. But we still have 9 drivers in the field. 2 are currently in the pits for repairs. I believe Julian is in for repairs. Can't actually see if he's getting repairs or not. I know Michael was in the pits for repairs. We can see he doesn't have his rear wing at the moment, so the repairs haven't been done yet. They are obviously busy servicing the car. The repairs get done last. So in the lead we have Lorenzo. In second place we have Davide. In third place we have Monet Deploy. A nice result so far for Monet. Been a while since Monet has been on the podium. Also doesn't get much chance to drive anymore. He used to be a very, very capable driver, quite a fast driver, but I don't think just doesn't have the time to practice as much as you'd like to anymore. But at least he's in the race. He does enjoy his endurance racing, so good to see he's having a decent round. He likes the NORDSCHLIEFE. NORDSCHLIEFE is actually a very popular track amongst many of the drivers for various reasons. I was expecting much higher turnout for this round as a result, but we didn't have it. We have a DNF for Davide. What has happened to Davide? That is quite a blow. The driver in second place. That puts, or will put, Monet Deploy up into second place. And we'll put Alex into third place. That is quite a shock turnaround of events there. So we have 2 DNFs in the span of half an hour. So still 2 hours to go. Definitely a race of attrition, this. Not an easy track to perfect and not an easy track to not make mistakes on. It can be very punishing because the track has very fast sections with walls and barriers, all sorts of obstacles in the way. It can be very difficult if you make a mistake to recover and avoid going off. In the background now I've seen another driver going off again. I think that's Michael Rabellini. He's just gone off and he's lost his rear wing, I believe. So Davide is now dropping. We have Monet up into second. We have Alex into third. The next driver to benefit will be Julian Brains. He'll be up to fourth place shortly, and he's of course had a pit stop, so been to the pits, had repairs, done whatever he needed to do, whether it was repairs or just fuel or whatever. I know he did have some damage to his car. We could see it on the bonnet shot when we had it on board before. It now looks all repaired, so it's not crumpled anymore. I'm going to see if I can bring in some of the drivers while we are... right, everybody, we are joined by Julian Brains in the chat box here. So, Julian, how's it going out there? We've seen you been into the pits. Was that to repair damage? We did see quite a strong start from you.
I had a strong start, and then I think I spoke myself out of that strong start, yeah, because when I was catching too many people, I thought my settings must have been wrong. But I was actually just in the Zen flow. My fuel was perfect, and then I just tapered off from there. Made one or two mistakes chasing Monet down still. I think, I think my race is still with him. So, I'm just hoping that it all pans out strategy-wise. I wasted a bit of time in the pits. But yeah, feeling okay. Trying to take it easy on the tires to start, because that was my problem before. And I realize I need to change the tire compound still. I should have changed to the hards, but obviously my settings aren't all dialed in rFactor too. But fill me in a little bit. What else is going on in this race that I haven't seen?
Well, we have 3 DNFs now. In the last lap or two, we've had a couple of cars going off. As you see, you touching the barrier there. So
yes, man.
Unfortunately,
Carrot a little too hard sometimes. Like
yes. Unfortunately, Carrot hit the escape key, and that meant he can't get back in. Michael Robolini's been off a few times.
He had no rear wing, and he was trying to make it back to the pits.
Yeah, that was the problem now for Michael as well. No rear wing. It's difficult on such a long lap to try and get back to the pits. And we also had the driver in second place, Davide Lupi. He's also had a DNF. I didn't see what happened, but he's also DNF. So 3 DNFs already. So you'll be fighting for the podium at the moment. So you're in 5th place currently. You've had a pit stop. You're about to jump up to 4th when you pass Davide. You're now in 4th. So you're in 4th place. You've got a bit of a gap to 3rd.
When did I pass him? Where was he?
Well, he's in the pits.
Oh.
In fact, it's showing he's in the pits at the moment. It's gone from DNF to pits. So I'm not sure if he's found a way to get going again. If he has, that would be great stuff.
Okay. But yeah, I'm feeling quite settled in the car. 2 hours to go. I mean, it was a bit of a nice and then also rough start, all in one, you know. Just get all the bad voodoo out the way. Oh, and now we're trying to just settle in. But it's always so lonely on the NORDSCHLIEFE, bro. Look at this.
That's the thing. It's yourself on the road. You got to be very
you got to
careful.
just do your race, you know. And the thing is, you always want to push a little too hard when you like this, you know. You feel like you're hot lapping.
Well, Davide has found out how to get going again. He had a DNF and he's back on track. So he's back.
We need to get his voodoo, bro.
Yeah, he knows how to do it. So that's someone knows how to do it. Good for him. If only the other guys knew how to do it. He needs to let Carrot know what he did, because then Carrot can maybe join. I'm actually just going to jump out and go and get them and see if I can get some feedback as to how he actually managed to get going.
Cool, no worries. I think for the podium, like Dennis says, but let's see, Monet. Let's see what happens to him in this 2.5 hours. That's the thing. I'm relying on somebody else to make as many mistakes as I already have, and that's not a good race strategy, really.
I see Carrot is gone, so I can't speak to Carrot, and I was hoping to drag him down to someone else to help, but it looks like the other team aren't in our chat. They're obviously in their own chat elsewhere.
Okay.
But yeah, at the moment then, an update for you, Julian. So you're currently in 4th place. You're chasing down 3rd place. You've got a big gap between yourself and 3rd.
But then he hasn't.
But lap time wise, you're actually very close.
Yeah, we would like it. I saw that. He did a 8:34. I did a 8. No, he did a 8:33. I did a 8:34. But I was driving really hard there, not like not in a good way, you know, missing braking markers and all sorts. Ooh, Uncle Stan, is that Uncle Stan?
That is Stan, yes. You rubbed against the wall. Hopefully you'll keep going. Matthew, at least in the comments, saying that Davide's power went out, so that's why he was able to rejoin. He obviously got the disconnect through the hardware, and it does allow you to rejoin if that happens. So that's how he's back in.
That's actually what should have done. He should have Alt F forward, and then it wouldn't have registered him having left, and he would have been able to rejoin. That's how it works. I remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just trying to get back to the pits. He wanted to stay in the race, obviously, because of our low numbers. But still exciting racing, eh? Nice. I think I'm Monet's in P2 already. Wow. And his lap times are a little bit faster than ours, actually. He's a little bit more glad. I know I've done faster lap times than that, but I don't know on a full tank, and I don't know what kind of traffic he's in. But anyway, I don't need to glean too much information from you. Give myself an advantage.
Yeah, at the moment he's doing 8:30s and you're doing...
Yeah, no, I know what times he's doing. I've got it all in front of me on the tiny pedal. But the point is that if he's doing that in traffic or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in clean air at the moment. Let's see what kind of times I end up doing. This is my out lap, so I don't think this registers.
Yeah, so it looks like we have 3 DNFs. We have Marco Rabellini out, Stan Bezano is out, and Kurt Birkus is out. So lots up for grabs here in terms of points.
Well, I'm not having the nicest start to this. The GP track. It's always my weak link here. Always my Achilles heel is this GP track.
Yeah, usually that's the part where most are strongest because they get to practice it more often.
Yeah, and I have been doing some racing here, so I should be getting nicer at it, but I still feel like...
We have another disconnect for David A. Maybe he'll rejoin again. He can still get good points. With low numbers, it's beneficial to rejoin because you do get the points at least. Pity Matteo is not racing. I was hoping that Matteo would be racing as well, hoping that we would have a high turnout here. Being the NORDSCHLIEFE, I thought it would attract a lot of guys. But unfortunately, not everyone is here today, so it is low numbers, but still good racing there. Guys are trying their hardest. I'm just going to drop you out for now, Julian, and see if I can get someone else in here. But take it easy. Don't let me distract you too much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right, let's see if I can bring someone else in quickly. Okay, I'm going to try bring David Jones in. I'm just going to wait till he is on a part of the track where I can let him know that I'm bringing him in. Don't want to distract him too much now. He's currently lapping very good times. But he is a lap down because of the repairs he had to do to his car. But that could all pan out as the race progresses. He can make it up. There's still 1 hour, 50 minutes to go. Alright, so he's going through... No, I think that was the first carousel. Let's go on board with him for now while we are waiting to get him in a clear air. Alright, he's on the clear air now. That was actually the second carousel. Let's bring him in here. David, hello. We are live with you at the moment. I see you're on the straight, so I thought I'd just drag you in and give you a bit of an update.
Hello. Yeah, interesting start. Obviously had to change cars quickly, and then had some damage into the wall really early on the out lap, on the first lap. Had to nurse it back, had a few more bumps and scrapes, but fully repaired in the pit.
And you are currently the second fastest driver on track, so you are making your way back up through the field. Oh, you see Monet hitting the pit wall as he goes in there. Monet is currently in second place, and you're faster than him at the moment.
Yeah, so hopefully I can work my way up, depending on what everyone else is doing. But yeah, just trying to stay consistent at the moment.
We do see quite a few DNFs. I know one of the drivers that was in second place had a power failure, so he's disconnected. He rejoined and then disconnected again, so maybe he will rejoin, or we will see. But at the moment, we have had a few disconnects, so you're in 6th place at the moment. At your pace, I think you could possibly make it up to 3rd, if not 2nd. So definitely got the pace to go there, so you're getting quicker in the car, hopefully getting more familiar with the car.
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit different from the Ferrari, but yeah, getting used to it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had a bit of a problem with Ferrari for some reason. As soon as we went to race, it kicked all the Ferrari drivers. So a late change there to the Ferraris for yourself and for Stan Bezagnet. And Stan, I think, had a bit of issues with the Mercedes, didn't quite gel with it, and he's had to leave. So yeah, he's just posted a comment there. Unfortunately, he blew his motor, so was left on the side of the road and had to escape and DNF. So unfortunate for him. That's real bad luck. But you seem to be doing all right. You're getting better, so I'm going to leave you to it, David. So well done, and hopefully it goes nice and smooth for the rest of the race.
Thanks, Dennis.
Pleasure. Cheers. That was David Jones that we were with there. Currently in 6th place, doing all right. His times are getting faster and faster. When we brought him into the commentary at 8:25, he's now at an 8:24. So he's slowly adapting to the car. He's getting faster. He has a bit of a gap to the driver ahead, so he is 86 seconds behind Andre Hildebrandt. But he is quite a lot faster than Andre Hildebrandt. He's over a minute a lap faster than Andre. So just under a minute faster than Andre. So I think in about 2 laps time, he will be up to the back of Andre. Let's have a look at Andre's. Andre also hanging in there at the moment. And this is the thing about endurance racing, is not just about pace. You just need to make sure you get to the end, whether you get there slowly or you get there fast. Ideally, you want to get there fast. But it doesn't help if you go faster than you should and you end up with DNF. So Andre maybe just sort of taking it a bit easy. Why is it on Andre? They're currently in 5th place, so he's just sort of cruising along. He'll get good points if he just finishes, because there are low numbers today, and we have had quite a few DNFs. So he's still in the race, currently in 5th place. He's got David Jones chasing him down, so we know David's got the pace to at least, in roughly 2 laps, get up to 5th place. So that would leave David in 5th place. And behind Julian Brains. Julian Brains is doing 10 seconds a lap slower, so that means to catch up to Julian, it's going to take him a lot longer. Of course, he has had a stop. Julian has had a stop, so I think Monet is now also had a stop. So Julian's only... Well, actually, there's a big gap between Julian and Monet. Is 8 seconds behind Alex. So Alex is currently in 2nd place. So thanks to the pit stops of Monet, Alex has been promoted up to 2nd. Let's see how long the different cars last. The fuel strategies are quite different on the different cars. The tanks are different. So Mercedes, for example, only has 77 liters that it can put in. So we'll see how that all works out. Monet Deploy is back in the pits again. I think that might have been for a penalty, because he was very quick in the pits. Right, off he goes again. That's going to play into the hands of Julian, although Julian is quite far back at this point. Alright, I'm going to take a brief break. I'm just going to go into autocam mode. That will at least give us some camera changes while I'm not at the helm, but until then I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, I'm back. That's my cold not having fully... Oh, excuse me. Caught me off guard, sorry about that. I haven't fully recovered from my cold in my throat. I'm also not feeling that great, so I had to go take something from my throat. And all of that, so I am back. Hopefully my throat will last a bit better. I have taken something that's feeling a little bit nicer. So we have Lorenzo de Flutus in first place, Alex Gerdiki in second place, and Monet Ploy in third place. So Monet, with his issues, ended up going down a place, but Julian Brain still 76 seconds behind Monet, so Monet's actually been steadily pulling away from Julian, although Julian's best lap time was a 8:29, which is faster than what Monet has done. I think on the whole, Monet seems to be a little bit faster, consistently. David Jones currently in 5th place, Andre Hildebrand currently in the pits. We have Matteo Castellani has joined as well, so nice to see Matteo is in. So Matteo may be taking over from Lupi. Davide Lupi, I think, had too many issues, so maybe Matteo has now just jumped in to take over. Let's see what sort of results he can salvage. He's in 7th place, 2 laps down, but at least he's in the race, so let's see. Maybe he can still salvage something. You never know, people make mistakes. It's a difficult track for the drivers, so there's still lots to play for. He might still pick up some good points. We have Andre Hildebrand still in the pits. He's got quite a long pit stop by the looks of things. It's been going for 1 minute and 17 seconds already. So, David Jones. I'll get there in a moment. So, choose the right feed. So, David Jones currently in 5th place. So that's quite a decent result considering he started off with an incident at the start. He did qualify in 4th place, and some of the drivers that were ahead of him have disconnected and had all kinds of issues. He unfortunately had an incident, so I guess getting used to the car. So we'll see as he progresses, does he get quicker? He definitely is getting quicker. His fastest time currently is still at 8:24.208. So if I see correctly, he's still currently the 3rd fastest driver in the field. He was the 2nd, but now that we have Matteo back, Matteo has a 8:16. Well, I don't know if that was under Matteo, but that Matteo is at least in with an 8:16. So Matteo coming up to Andre Hildebrand. Let's see how quickly he can catch up. Currently still on the Grand Prix circuit. So we have 1 hour, 28 minutes left to go. So just over an hour into the race. We have 3 DNFs, unfortunately. Michael Rabellini, Stan Bezadnot, and Gerrit Pierkens. Nice and smooth over the curbs. Catching Andre quite quickly, actually. Certainly on the brakes, catching a lot there on Andre. Of course, he is unlapping himself. I think Andre is 1 lap down to the leaders. I believe Matteo is 2 laps down on Andre. So he'll be unlapping himself from Andre, but he's 3 laps down from the leader. Andre letting him go, I think. Realizing that his fight is not with Mathieu, especially when there are several laps between them. Oh, there we're getting a bit too aggressive over the curbs, then the car getting very loose. Hanging on to it at least as it hits into the carousel. It's probably one of the most dangerous circuits, but that's, I think, what makes it so challenging and so rewarding to drive. When you get it right, it's just that feeling of achievement. Throwing a car around here fast and memorizing the circuit is something that is going to stick with you for life. Oh, into the barrier. That's not good. That, I think, is going to be... Oh, rear wing gone. That is going to be a excursion to the pits. Unfortunately, with the rear wing gone, the car is going to be extremely loose, and if he doesn't realize that, he's going to go too fast and lose the rear. Just like that. So he's going to have to limp around. But he's currently in 5th place. He can still limp around and still salvage 5th place. Still an hour and 25 minutes to go. He has 30 seconds, or had 30 seconds on Andre Hildebrand. The problem with a car like this is the rear end is so loose, you've got to be so careful. You cannot afford to go too fast because you will end up in the barrier and do more damage. And possibly lose a wheel or something that you can't then get back to the pits. So he's going to have to limp. That car is really badly damaged at the moment. He's going quite fast, which is a very, very risky strategy. There'll just be no grip on the rear at the moment. Alright, through the second carousel. He's almost there. Oh, just keep it on the road. Double right-hander basically, and then there's a long straight. At least there he can at least put his foot down. It's straight, so he should be safe. Although he'll be high speed into a tight section before the pit, so that's going to be quite dangerous. As long as he eases off and brakes early enough and doesn't have the rear end come around him and keeps the car in a straight line. So currently the gap from himself to Andre is 159 seconds, so I don't know what sort of a pit stop he's going to have. He's probably going to lose 6th place, but then he will come out with a fresh car. And he should be able to then... Oh, see, that's the problem with this. Oh, there he goes again. Now he's going to have more damage. This section is extremely dangerous. With no rear wing. He needs to limp. He's so close to the pits. He needs to limp now just so that he can get back to the pits. Otherwise, he's not going to make it. As long as he can get to the pits, they can repair it. But entrance will be coming up any moment now. I think it's the next corner. Peel off. He missed the pit entrance. Oh, he's going in. He's going in the other pit entrance. Okay, sorry. So it was remember, I thought he'd missed the other pit entrance as well, where you can sometimes go. Okay, he didn't miss it. That was just me being silly in the angle that I saw it at. For a moment, they thought, "Oh my word, he just missed the pit entrance." All right, so they will now be repairing his car. They can hopefully give it a full repair and hopefully it will be solid and ready to go. And he'll be back in the race in no time at all. So, Andre Hildebrandt, will he take over 5th place now? And then the question is also tyres, guys. Have to fit 2 different compounds of tyres throughout the race, so we'll keep an eye on that. And this might even bring Matteo into play, because Matteo, of course, he's a lap down on Andre. He is, ooh, he's going off track there. What's happening there? Maybe just distracted or has an issue of some sorts. We've got Alex in the background closing in as well. Right, go on board with Alex for a lap. It does have Matteo in front of him. I'm not sure what happened with Matteo there. Matteo had a bad lap. Let's see if he's going to be catching Matteo or not. So Matteo, you can kind of see him in the distance. He's turning into the right hand in front. That is Matteo. It's not for position, but Matteo is still there in front of him. And Matteo was driving fast. He seemed to have just lost a bit of pace and maybe had a small mistake and possibly even suffering a bit of damage himself. So the gap between them is quite a lot at the moment, actually. I think Matteo has kind of regrouped himself. Right, so at the front we do have Lorenzo. We're forgetting that we have another Team Shibba car in the race. Team Shibba 1 out in front at the moment. Lorenzo keeping it all nice and neat at the moment. I think one of the few drivers that hasn't had any issues apart from Alex. Alex doesn't have the pace to challenge Lorenzo at the moment, but so far so good for Alex, no issues. And then we have Alex in second place. And Monet deploy in third. Ooh, making a bit of a mistake there. Runs across the chicane. So manufacturer-wise, we have a BMW leading from an Audi, from a BMW in third, Aston Martin in fourth, Porsche in fifth, BMW in sixth, a BMW in seventh, BMW DNF in eighth, a Mercedes DNF in ninth, and a BMW DNF in 10th. keeping an eye on everything that's happening time-wise. So there are big gaps between the drivers. The gap between first and second is 214 seconds. Between second and third it is 62 seconds. We also have Julian Brains now in the pits. Gap between third and fourth was 75 seconds. Then there's 404 seconds back to Andre, so I'm pretty sure Julian will come out ahead of Andre still. And then from Andre to David, 116 seconds. Ooh, we have a DNF for David. So David has had too many issues and has got a DNF in the end. He got so far into the race and then pretty much got halfway. So that's unfortunate. So that means Matteo will then jump up a spot up to 6th place. So definitely a race of attrition. Not an easy track to finish. Let's see if I can maybe get us a slightly different view. Watching Monet. I'll change to Monet and an onboard shot when he comes around the next corner or so. Just give you an idea of what the drivers are experiencing from within the cockpit. For the moment there for Monet, unfortunately. Will he be able to recover the car safely? Is the car damaged? That is the next. He still has his rear wing at least, so he's lucky to have kept the rear wing. Once you lose your rear wing, it is extremely difficult to drive the car. Matteo Castellani is also in the pits at the moment, according to the live timings. There he goes, into the pits. And according to this, we have Gerrit Bierkes in the race. So Gerrit taking over from Julian Brains. Well, nice to have Gerrit able to actually jump in and drive. After the issues he had with the other car. At least he gets to have a bit of fun. There's an hour and 11 minutes to go still. Let's see what sort of lap times you can do. Julian only did a 8:29, and we know Julian can go much faster than that, so I think the car maybe not ideally set up. But let's see what sort of times we can get from Gerrit. Maybe he can still improve and possibly still catch up for third place. So now it is Monet Deploy that has to be careful because he did go off now. They're coming into the pits now. He needs to be careful he doesn't have too many offs because he's going to then end up losing his podium position. So currently 75 seconds ahead of Gerrit Bierkes. Let me see if I can bring Julian into the chat. All right, we are joined by Monet Deploy at the moment. At the moment, Monet, you're currently in the pits, if I'm correct.
Yes, indeed.
How is your race going? We've seen you up to second place at one point, then down to third. You're currently in the pits. Looks like you might lose third place to Gerrit Bierkes, who's taken over from Julian.
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's going good, and then obviously I got a bit excited when I was in P2 because Davide had, I think he had some sort of power loss or something, and then anyway, it was going good, and then when it was my time to pit, I actually went into the wrong pit. At the end of the NORDSCHLIEFE, I actually tried to go into that those pits on there, and then I basically hit a invisible barrier. Got some damage about 180 seconds, and then took that, got it repaired, went back out in P3. I was starting to catch Alex a little bit, and then caught up to Andre, who was the back marker, and then he tried to move, hug the inside of one of the corners, and I went a bit wide around him, and then spun a little bit and went into the wall, so now I'm back in.
There's quite a lot of action, but you're still in third place, and I was thinking that maybe Gerrit would be challenging you, but he's actually a lap down, so you should be quite safe for the podium, and I think with just over an hour to go, I think you will be safe. I don't think his lap times will be fast enough to challenge you.
Let's I hope so, but yeah, we were busy talking about him taking over Julian, like, you know, doing a driver swap, and I said, you know, I was like, yeah, why not? It'll make things a little bit more interesting. So hopefully I can hold on to third place.
And have you done your tire swaps yet? What tires are you on at the moment, and what tires have you used throughout the race?
So I started on hards, and then changed to mediums in my first stop, and now I'm going back on hards, because the mediums, although they can be for the first lap about 6 or 7 seconds faster for me, they just don't last. So I'm going to try and stay on the hards until the end, and then just do a little bit of fuel. Just like the last 15 minutes, I'll try and just do a little bit of fuel and try and keep these hards till the end.
All right, well, good luck, and hopefully we see you on the podium at the end.
All right, thank you very much.
Cheers, Monet.
Cheers.
All right, that was Monet Deploy, currently sitting in the pits. He's having an exciting break in the pits. He might be having a smoke break or something while they repair his car and fill it up with fuel. It looks like we might have... Is that Gerrit Bierkes that's also in the pits according to this? No, the timing thing shows he's in the pits, but he's clearly not. I'm going to just refresh the time. Sometimes the timing gets a little bit confused and we just need to refresh it. Alright, so now it's showing that the only one in the pits is indeed Mornay. So, Gerrit looking good at the moment. Nice and on track. Good lines there. Coming around to start another lap. So Gerrit is not too far back on track versus Mornay, although he is a lap down. So he's a lap down on Mornay. The time intervals don't make sense to me, but it is a long lap, so it's hard to figure it all out. Sometimes the times just are a bit confusing. I think I'm going to change the time so we can see gap to next rather. Okay. So that is the gap on the timings there between the drivers, so driver to driver. So the gap to the next driver from Gerrit to Mornay is 268 seconds. So that's actually quite a lot. Mornay is 79 seconds back on Alex, and Alex is 244 seconds back on Lorenzo. So I think the gap to watch would probably be the Mornay and Alex gap, because Alex in the last lap only did an 8:39, although Mornay did an 8:56, so there was a pit stop in there. I think Mornay is about 9 seconds a lap faster than Alex, so he could catch. It would take about 10 laps to catch. I don't think he has 10 laps time left in him. Right, I'm going to jump to our other feed again, just so that I can take a small break. I'm going to put the qualifying time on. That just means it gives you the sector time so you can see if they're up or down. And I'm going to let us know the gap to the next driver so we know who's next. And number of stops. And the tires, so we know who's on what tires. And I'm going to transition to that, and I will be back shortly. I'm just going to take a small break, try and preserve my voice a bit, and I will see you just now. Oh, Julian. Hi, sorry, I was just taking a small break there.
No worries, no worries. I just thought we'd inform you as to what's going on, even though you've seen what's going on.
Yes, with yourself and with Gerrit taking the drive.
You know what? We're just trying to make it fun, man. And looks like I was just an uphill battle chasing Mornay. I'd made too many mistakes. We thought, let's make it fun. Let's see if Gerrit stands a chance of going to go and catch him with the last stint in hand.
Yeah, you've got a bit of a gap there, but at the moment, it's showing 20 seconds to Mornay.
That's down. I had like almost a minute gap between us, more than, especially because I did the pit stop after doing the full GP.
Yeah, Mornay's also had a pit stop. He seems a bit slower now. He's gone to the hards. He was on the mediums. So he's done a stop. I had to bring him in while he was in his stop and just had a bit of a chat with him. So he's gone back to the hards now. I think Gerrit is catching him slowly, although the gap has now gone up to 21, so I think depends on what sector of the track they're both in.
I think they're gonna sit very close, and with an hour to go, it's gonna be neck and neck. Because
quite a battle for the podium now.
Gerrit's trying to find his form. Mornay's on good form. but Fred's definitely trying to find it. And it looks like Monet might even. I mean, what's the gap to him? And a whole lap. He's down to Alex.
So
Or is that just because Alex has crossed the line already?
it could be that they are that, but I think Alex is also on a different strategy. So Monet's just had a pit stop, so I think when Alex pits, that gap will be a lot closer.
Okay. Interesting. Anyway, let's see how Gerard can do with this last stint. I mean, I think he might still have to come in for a splash and dash in the end. Or maybe I'll even do that depending on how we feel. But yeah, just keeping you updated. We're not sure if it was legal or not, but we thought it would be fun, seeing as there's only 5 of us out there.
Yeah, it's fine to do driver swaps. It's meant to be a solo, but if you want to do driver swaps, that's also fine. It's not a problem.
We only did it because Gerard was now DNF'd by a misunderstanding how to operate, and obviously with the rear wing, and then just to make it fun, we just thought just spice it up. It's not about if I'd have to forfeit points, it's all good.
Well, it's a team championship, so at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's driving the car. So the car that crosses the line is the car that gets the points, not the driver. So with the championship having gone from 4 hours down to 2.5 hours, it just meant we could hopefully increase numbers a bit by going solos. But if the guys wanted to team up, then yeah, they can.
100% with that. I just thought that maybe it was now like a mandatory solo thing.
No.
And these races are too long for me. 2.5 hours too long for me, bro. I don't have that kind of attention span to drive. That is for 2.5 hours. It's intense. You have to focus constantly, especially on a track like this. You know, you sort of start to jump it a little bit and get lost in your thoughts, and then make mistakes.
It's definitely not easy. But I think that's also why the guys that they make mistakes and they get very disheartened very quickly, thinking, okay, it's all over. But on this track, anything can happen. And guys in front of you could be stone last, all the guys in front of you go off and you end up winning it. Anything's possible around here because of how long the circuit is. It's 25 kilometers, and because there are so many fast sectors with walls around, you make a small slip up and that's it, you're in the wall. You lose the rear wing, as we've seen with some of the drivers. Getting back without a rear wing, let's say in the first sector you lose your rear wing, that's no mean feat if you can get back to the pits without a rear wing. It is extremely difficult, and we actually saw David Jones had that happen, and he didn't make it back to the pits. He kept spinning it virtually every corner to the point where eventually he damaged the car and had to retire.
Yeah. No, that's what happens, and that's what happened to Gerrit, and that's why he opted to. I don't know. Because it was said that you could escape during qualifying. That I think he just tried it. We didn't even think that. That was going to be an issue. Well, we didn't know, but he was inevitably as busted as David was, because he had no rear wing and you can't make it down from the beginning. It's virtually impossible without doing it in like maybe 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, which sometimes it sounds like a long lap, but it might actually be with it. Yeah,
still viable.
If the race is long enough, and there's enough cars out there, you can actually still make up places after that.
100%.
But it's hard when you're driving to think and to strategize and to work out all the times in your head. So you're thinking of your lap time, your current lap time, and if you have a mistake, you're straight away thinking of how much you're losing. You're not working out, okay, I can make up X amount over X amount of laps. That means I'll put myself into that place. As a driver in that point of the race, you don't at all think of that. So you just think of the negatives.
You can, especially if you have a team around you. That's when you can afford that little bit of space to think. And like a track like this doesn't really lend itself to thinking. But when you're doing endurance on a track like Le Mans, there is a lot of time, to strategize, to think, to calculate. Not that it's easy. it's still quite a difficult thing. But I mean, I know guys. I mean, Stanton literally drives with a scientific calculator right alongside him, and I'm sure he uses it on Le Mans straight, and could potentially even use it on the straight down the back here as well. Not much opportunity. There's a small breather but on that straight as well, you can make mistakes and lose time, if you're not zoned in. Oh,
yeah.
Gerard running a bit wide there.
If you have a team to help you, that definitely makes all the difference. On this track, Le Mans, you have lots of long straights. Here, there's only one real long straight. The rest of the time, I think maybe the Grand Prix circuit for some guys, because you're more familiar with the Grand Prix circuit, and the Grand Prix circuit also got more runoff. So if you make a mistake, you're less likely to hit the wall. But once you hit the Nordschleife, those walls are so close and you're going so fast. If you make a mistake, you're likely to end up with damage. Carrot's actually looking nice and stable at the moment in the Aston. He looked a bit ragged in the BM.
I have to go and do a bit of baby things here quickly, Joe. I'll be back. I'll come
Alright,
and join you
cool.
in a minute. Sorry, I'll stay here, but I'll just mute.
Okay, cheers, Julian. So Carrot actually looking a little bit more stable than he was in the BM. So all good. We're going to see what his lap time is like in a moment. And his last lap wasn't the greatest. Let's see how this lap compares. Certainly looking better, even if it's not that fast. He just needs to be faster than Monet, and at the moment his last lap was an 8:36, which is not very quick. So let's compare with our leader. Our leader currently on the wrong feed again. Right, now I'm on the right feed. Changing cameras and nothing's happening. I realized I was on the wrong feed. So at the moment we have Lorenzo just cruising out front. A lot faster than Alex at the moment, but Alex is just taking it easy. Alex, I think, is doing the right thing. He's currently in second place, which would be a fantastic result for Alex. A podium is a podium, no matter the method that you get it, as long as it's the legal method. Unfortunately, some drivers have had some bad luck, but that's led to his fortune, so he's kept it on the road at least. He's avoided any barriers. He's got 54 minutes left to go, so he's already done an hour and a half, which by I think most driver standards, that's kind of a full-length race. So another hour to go. It's definitely challenging to maintain your concentration for 2.5 hours around the Nordschleife. Coming up to the Vidal chicane, and then I'll be heading onto the actual Nordschleife itself, off the Grand Prix circuit. The Audi actually looks very nice. I think the Audi is one of the nicest looking GT3 cars, if not the nicest. I'm surprised we don't have more guys driving the Audi. Alright, I'm going to jump back to the other feed so we have an auto cam at least. I don't have to follow the action as much. Third, our leader on hards, second place on mediums, third on hards, fourth on hards, fifth on mediums, and sixth on mediums. I'm just going to mute myself briefly. Alright, I'm back, and we actually briefly had Davide Lupi as the fastest overall middle sector. Let's go over to Davide. He just did the fastest middle sector out of anybody, a 181.003. So that's a pretty quick second sector.
Oh, it looks like big problems for Gerard there.
What happened with Gerrit at the moment?
He was on his roof, so
Oh
back to
dear.
square one.
Oh, it looks okay at the moment.
Yeah, he literally just recovered. He was on the top of that car. Doesn't look that bad though.
Yeah, it looks like he's been very lucky. Doesn't look too graunched up or anything, so he maybe got away with just...
I mean, he's got a rear wing.
He's still got the rear wing, that's the main thing, yeah. Right, so Davide just did the fastest middle sector. Let's see what his lap time is going to be like. He's definitely starting to push. Gerrit's lap times weren't looking so good either. His last lap was only at 8:36, so a bit slower than what you were doing. But also
So
having
did
just
Davide
jumped in.
have a DC and then come back?
What was that?
Is Davide DC'd? Is that why he's 3 laps down? Was that something?
He had a power issue, so he disconnected and rejoined, and then at some point
Okay.
the driver swap, and then he came back in again.
Okay.
Yeah, he's at least in the race. We had Matteo jumping in briefly, and then I think Matteo was maybe just a bit slower than what he is, and now he's back in. Maybe his power's all sorted, and away he goes.
Andre Hildebrand also having generally, he's always has good endurance races, old Andre.
Yeah, I think he just paces himself.
Exactly, yeah.
He's not the fastest driver, but he's not the slowest driver. But there he is in 5th place because he's still there.
Yeah.
And that's the art of endurance racing. Getting that balance between performance and stability and stamina. Okay, you're being asked to take over there. The Sumer is asking you, Julian, to take over from Gerrit.
What?
He's got no control.
Oh, shucks. And he just drove past the pit lane.
Yeah, so perhaps you need to go jump into a chat there and just see what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. I just jumped into the car with him, so he should see me. So, okay. See you later.
Okay, cheers, good luck. Alright, I'm going to see if we can perhaps bring someone... Right, I was hoping to chat to Andre, but I don't think his microphone is working as we see our leader get past him. So it looks like Carrot is having problems, so he will dive into the pits shortly. In fact, he is now in the pits. And I assume Julian will now jump in and take over and drive to the finish with 45 minutes left to go. So they are going to be fighting for third place. I don't know that they're going to be close. I think the problems that Carrot had, I think, has increased the gap a little bit too much for Monet to be able to, for Julian to be able to challenge Monet. And the gap between second and third is rather large. So Monet can kind of just cruise at this point. There's a 308-second gap between himself and Alex. Just waiting to see now. I'm pretty sure that Carrot doesn't have to worry about Andre behind. But that pit stop is quite a long pit stop with, I guess, damage repair, driver swap, and adding the fuel and the tires. In the meantime, I'm going to go do a quick search. I'm going to go over to PC2 again. As we see Alex now heading out of the pits. So Alex had dived into the pits. Having a quick stop and off he goes. Alright, I'm back. I'm just trying to search for something to help someone who can hope you're driving in. You have Matteo now driving the car, so Matteo has now jumped into the top car. Having driven the car lower down, he's now driving the car higher up. So that's quite cool. You get to drive both cars, spread the load across their drivers. When they've got enough gap to do that, they can have a bit of fun like that. So Matthew having driven Team Sugar 1 and Team Sugar 2 today. Right, so the gap between first and second is currently 415 seconds. Alex is at least on the lead lap, which I think is quite an achievement, all things considered. So Alex actually having had a very clean, solid race at the moment, so managing to avoid any of the issues that others have had. For some reason our timing screen is doing weird things. Alright, there we go. I'll sort it out. Right, so our mid-race results. Currently we have Matteo Castellani in the lead currently because he has done a driver swap. We have Alex Diki in second place, Monet Deploy in third place, Julian Brains currently back in the car in fourth place, Andre Hildebrandt in fifth place, Davide Lupi in sixth place, David Jones seventh, Michael Rabellini eighth, Stan Bezednote in ninth, and Gerrit Bierkes in 10th place. So 38 minutes left to go. Race, of course, did start a little bit late because of the issues with Ferrari cars at the start, which has caused several issues. But we did not know that there would be a problem with them starting, so that was a bit of a problem. And we'll have to test that for the next round, make sure that they're all sorted. Next round, of course, will be Daytona International, the oval circuit in America, but we will be using the infield road circuit. That is a very well-known, very famous endurance circuit. For those that aren't aware, the next round coming up will be on the 24th of November, so that is the end of next month. It'll be the final round in this championship. And then we'll have to start planning the championship for next year, and we'll have to, I think, change the way we've planned it. Because this year we started off as a team event. That didn't work, so next year I think we're going to abandon the team event for now. We'll do solo events, maybe slightly shorter than this, maybe 2.5 hours. It's just a little bit too long. Maybe one or two can be 2.5 hours, but maybe bring it down a bit just so the drivers can survive. It's a long way to drive solo. So Alex actually currently driving on the soft tire, which is interesting. Did not think anyone would go for the soft. Maybe he's very conservative on his tires and is able to make the soft tire last. We did hear from Monet when he was chatting with us that the medium tire just didn't last. It gave about 8 seconds a lap faster for the first couple of laps, and then the tire wear just kicked in. So surprising that he's actually gone for a soft. I can't imagine that would last very long. That's more like a qualifying tire. Get one lap out of it. So a very slow race from a commentary perspective, not much happening, not that many drivers on track. So sorry if it's a bit slow in the way it's coming across. It is a long race, so we're just hoping that the drivers can all get to the end. Unfortunately, some of them didn't. We've lost 4 drivers already. But we do still have some drivers on track, drivers doing everything they can to make it to the end. Our top team has had a driver swap. The team in 6th place had also had a driver swap. Actually, the same drivers. Quite interesting. And then we have the drivers in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 5th having all done it solo. Of course, this is a team championship, so the drivers can change cars if they wish to. They can change as many cars as they want within the race. It is the team that will score the points, so we do not mind which driver drives in which car. It's the team that comes across the line that will bring home the points, so whatever car that might be, and that's who you will score for. So at the moment we do have Team Sugar 1 leading. They are of course leading the championship as well. Now we have Vortex currently in 2nd, and we have Cool Runnings in 3rd. Is it Sim Experience 2 or 3 that is in 4th place? It is Sim Experience Global 2. And then Andre Hildebrand is Deltec. So there's a bit of a gap before Davide. Now Davide is Team Sugar 2. Team Sugar 2 are currently 2nd in the championship, but they're going to lose quite a lot of points at the moment. 3rd in the championship though is Full Throttle. Full Throttle was Gerrit Birkus, who's not able to race, so he didn't drive his own car. He would have driven a different car. So it looks like not any points. Well, there will be 1 point for Gerrit Birkus, I think. I presume he's done enough to actually get classified. So I don't know if he'll get extra points. If that drive in 10th place also wasn't for his own team, so that would be for Sim Experience 1, I believe is what he drove there. So that's all very interesting. So I think 2nd place in the championship is pretty much safe. I don't think there's enough points to be had to allow the other teams below to challenge them. Let's just have a look at our points quickly, just so we have that in front of us. So our championship standings, we have Team Sugar 1 on 82, Team Sugar 2 on 53. NXT, they're not here today, so they can't challenge. Full Throttle, they're not here today, so they can't challenge. Sim Experience Global 1, they would get 1 point if code is classified. And NXT Sim Racing 2, I believe Stan drove in their car, but he didn't finish, so I don't know if he'll get classified. He's ahead of Kurt, so he would in theory. Team Iris Grip Level, RR Racing also here. Also didn't finish. Team Experience Global 3, same story. Vortex Motorsport, Bad Boys, well, they are here. And at the moment they would be 2nd, so they would jump up to 26 points. I believe it is 20 points for 2nd place. Unless I'm getting it wrong, maybe it is 18 points. Anyway, they will jump up quite a bit, but they won't challenge the teams ahead. Alright, everything back on screen. So Davide's last lap was an 8:15.165, so that was quite a decent lap. The best lap of the race is an 8:13.291. Alex had a very slow lap on the last lap because he did have a pit stop. Renee did an 8:27, so that was a bit slow by his standards. He was a couple of seconds off his best. Julian Brains had an invalidated lap on the last lap. Andre Hildebrand had a slow lap with a pit stop. currently actually in the pits, so with 30 minutes to go, this could probably be down to, I guess, the medium tires, put enough fuel in and run to the end. Alright, I'm going to take a quick break before we do the final portion of the race. I'm going to jump to the auto cam feed again, which we are now on. I'm going to go and quickly grab myself something to drink. I'll be back shortly. Alright, I am back. So 27 minutes left to go in the race. Got myself something to drink, so hopefully I will be okay for the rest of the race. I'm not sure why it's showing there that Julian Brains and When I Deploy have not had any stops. They definitely have had stops. We've seen them, and our leader, we've definitely seen them have their pit stops. So I'm not sure why it's showing that. That is not correct. Look at the gaps. Quite a large gap to second place, 366 seconds, so it's a long time. So my kids are probably about to go bath, the twins, they are put in their twos, so we might hear a bit of screaming. Hopefully we won't hear them on air, but if we do, apologies for that. with the race having dragged on a little bit longer than expected, it meant we're crossing over to their bedtime and their bath time and everything was put back, so hopefully they don't make too much of a noise. Alright, so Matteo heading down the long straight. Who does he have in front of him? Alright, let's see how this lap goes as he crosses the line. That was a 8:23, so slightly slower than it could have been. Oop, this is the apex into turn 1. I think Matteo doesn't have to worry, even if he does that lap time, he's not going to be challenged by second place. Second place is still, at this point of the race, 12 seconds a lap slower. Third place, though, was slightly faster, or actually slightly slower. Third place did an 8:23 in Monet, so similar pace. But he's a long way back, so unless Matteo had to pit and end up in the pits for a long time, I don't think he has to worry too much. I'm just going to leave the camera on here for a moment. I am going to, in the meantime, start preparing things for the end of the race. At some point we'll also need to discuss with the drivers the prizes, because we haven't yet discussed what the prizes are. So we will be working out the prizes between this round and the next round. We'll announce it on our Discord, so there will be prizes for the drivers. I'm not sure exactly what they'll be, but we will announce that shortly, so the drivers will just keep their eye on Discord to find out what the prizes will end up being. And then of course, when the championship is over, we'll hand out the prizes. But at the moment it looks like it's Team Sugar 1 definitely taking victory. I don't think they can be challenged at the moment, they are too far ahead, especially if they take this victory today. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly modify some files in the background. And then hopefully when the race is over we can do some interviews, get whichever drivers are available in to have a chat. Make sure I don't miss anything. Second place doing a really good job. Those soft tires actually managing to hang on there, so we'll see how that goes as the race progresses. Still 20 minutes to go. It's a long way to go. Alright, so I'm going to just do all this while we're watching Matteo on track at the moment. So at least with Matthew driving both cars, he's kind of guaranteed to be on the podium. So that's quite nice, being dropped in there at the end. It's also very nice that he can at least get that. I'm just going to mute while the kids are coming upstairs. Alright, the kids said he's in the bathroom, so hopefully that won't make too much noise from now on. Well, they start screaming and shouting as they're splashing things there, but anyway. So Monet Deploy currently having a good race at the moment in third place. It's a great result for him and the team. Something that I do find difficult is to track who was in the car at what time. Hopefully I'm spelling all names and things correctly as we're watching Monet heading back into the pits for a splash and dash at the end. That's a bit of a surprise. I didn't think he would need to go for a splash and dash, but okay. I don't think that would give Julian a chance. I think Julian is too far back. of course, is back on track as well, so that wasn't an issue. So it was definitely just a splash and dash. Amateur looking very much in control at the moment, as is Alex. So there are pretty large gaps between all the drivers. It's actually one of the smallest gaps is between second and third, which is 151 seconds. So the current standings, we have Matteo Castellani in first place, Alex Gaidicki in second, Monet Deploy in third, Julian Brains in fourth, Andre Hildebrandt in fifth, Davide Lupi in sixth, David Jones in seventh, although DNF, Marco Rabellini in eighth DNF, Sam Zadnert in ninth DNF, and Gerrit Bierkes in 10th DNF. Andre Hildebrandt's car looking a little bit damaged, but obviously not running too bad. He's still going. Sometimes it works better just to keep going. Oh, clubbers the wall slightly there. That's that phase of the race where the drivers will be fighting fatigue. 2 hours 15 minutes gone already, or 2 hours 20 minutes basically gone already. Long way to go still. When you're this far in, that last 12 minutes, 10 minutes seems like an eternity. You have to be so careful that you don't make a mistake, because this is the part of the race where it's very, very easy to just lose concentration. You just dip your wheels slightly on a curb, slightly on the dirt, and suddenly you're in the barrier, and that's race over. So apart from David having his disconnects, his pace has been really excellent, and it's a bit of a shame because he would have definitely finished in second place based on his pace. He definitely had the second fastest lap of the race. Fastest lap of the race was a 8:13.291. David did an 8:14.003, so only a fraction slower. The third fastest lap of the race is Monet Deploy. Fourth fastest lap of the race would be David Jones. And then we would head to Julian Brains. After Julian Brains, it would be Alex Gaidicki. So quite amazing that Alex doesn't have the fastest lap of the race by any means, but he's just kept it clean, avoided any incidents, and he's managed to get a second place already, or almost 10 minutes to go. So that's the thing with endurance racing. I think Alex proves what endurance racing is all about. It's not about the speed. You need to get to the end to get the points. And he's just been consistent. He's just gradually just chipped away at it. Made sure he's avoided any incidents. Kept his nose clean. When things happen, he just sort of drives around it casually, stayed calm. And there he is, 10 minutes to go. So this Well, probably means 2 more laps. Well, that all depends on the leader, I guess. Where is our leader at the moment? Ah, so Matthew, I'm trying to work out exactly where he is. I think I need to go on board to figure it out. Okay, here we are. The dip here. I love this part. Dip, turn right. And then we've got a double left. I think it's a double left. Fast left down the hill. And a fast right. And this part here, nice. The night is a bit tricky, especially with nighttime with a bit of rain. It gets very dangerous around there. This corner catches me out at night and it tightens on you. And into carousel 2, I believe that is. And then a double right-hander onto the straight. Okay, so he will probably start a lap in a moment, and that will be the final lap of the race that he'll be starting. With his fastest lap being in 8:13, and the last lap was 8:23. Less than 8:23 left, there'll be less than 8:13 by the time he gets to the line. So this will be the second last lap, that is the penultimate lap that he's on. So when he crosses the line, that will be the start of the final lap. We heard Monet saying he went into the pits on the right over there. That is the wrong pits, he got confused. Alright, so now starting the last lap. Basically 8 minutes to go and the race will be over. So a solid race for Team Shiba 1 at the moment. I'm not sure if any of the drivers will be available from Team Shiba, but if they are, they can come join us in the interviews after the race. Whether it is Matteo or Lorenzo. Are you ready for the interviews? Oh, excuse me. Hopefully the drivers will be ready as well. I'm going to just jump to some of the drivers as we're watching Matteo heading around. Of course, we have Alex in second place. Monet in third place. Monet, of course, is part of the Cool Runnings team, which adorns the Skinny Media branding on it. And Skinny Media, of course, have been one of our sponsors for this series. They are sponsoring some prizes for us. or Skinny Media and I've just got a blank on the name. Apologies for that. Sim Racers Room, sorry about that. The Sim Racers Room and Skinny Media are part of Monet Deploy's project, so they have sponsored us our prizes, so we are waiting to see what we're going to be handing out as prizes. So he's offered something. It might just be something small, but at least it'll be some kind of prizing for the prizes for the drivers. Hopefully something just for the guys that have attended, maybe an attendance type prize, so the guys that attended all the races might get some sort of prize, and of course the guys that finish the top positions. Julian Brains getting quite a tank slapper on there. That was very, very close. Just running through the various drivers as they are coming along. Let's just also do a mid-race results quickly, just to show that we currently have Matteo Castellani in first place, Alex Kadicki in second place, Monet Deploy in third, Julian Brains in fourth, Andre Hildebrandt in fifth, Davide Lupe in sixth, David Jones seventh, Michael Rabellini eighth, Stan Bezadenert in ninth, and Gerrit Pierkes rounds out the top 10. So, surprisingly, Alex has been able to make those softs last. So, stuttered slightly there. He's been able to make them last with 2 minutes to go, but his last lap time was almost 10 seconds slower than his best time. So, maybe they have been shot. He took a gamble and they just haven't lasted. And the leader coming up to lap Andre Hildebrandt. Andre moves out of the way nicely. Thank you, Andre. Very difficult track to catch traffic on it. Not a track you want to be offline, especially some of the corners that are blind or going over a crest. So a minute left to go on the clock, so this is the final lap as we see. Probably about 3 minutes or 2.5 minutes till the end. Oh, probably less than that, probably about 2 minutes to go. Coming around to carousel fairly shortly. This is the second carousel. I'm getting my track mixed up, it'll be the second carousel I believe. We are between carousel 1 and carousel 2. Here is carousel 2. This will then be onto the back straight. And then it's a long straight and then a couple of tight corners around the pit area. And that should be the end of the race as the time has officially run out. So Matteo Castellani has a couple of corners to navigate before he'll bring Team Shiba home, Team Shiba 1 home for race victory at the NORDSCHLIEFE. So the team will be getting their champagne ready. And runs the last Fisher chicanes. And onto the straight. And that is race victory for Team Shiba 1. Well done to Team Shiba 1. Matteo and Lorenzo driven a perfect race. And Alex Gadecki in second place. Still a way to go, still on the lap. But also the last driver that is currently on the lead lap. When he deploys, still a way back as well. He's currently on the long straight, so slightly ahead of Alex on track, although he's a lap down from Alex. He will cross the line first. Not too sure where Julian is. Okay, Julian is further back. And Monet crosses the line to finish in third place. Great result on the podium there for Monet. Let's see where Andre is. Currently, Andre has also finished. David is in the middle sector of the track at the moment, as I believe is Alex. They must actually be fairly close to each other. And David is a little bit further back. I see all the different cars. The one car we don't have, of course, is the Mercedes. That definitely has a very unique sound. Much deeper, sort of raspier sound. The Audi, of course, is a mid-engined car. Basically 3 drivers still on the lap. As you're waiting for them to finish the lap, then we can jump to a quick ad break and then bring the drivers in for interviews. Using quite a lot of curb there, quite risky at this stage of the race. And Davide onto the back straight. Next, still around the carousel. So let's watch Davide come back over the line first. He will take home 6th place. Okay, so Davide into the final complex. Left and onto the straight, and we'll bring the car home for 6th place. The Team Shiba in 1st and in 6th. Team Shipper 1 in first, Team Shipper 2 in sixth. And then we'll have Alex bringing the car home next for second place. Coming up to the second carousel shortly. And then, of course, Julian Brains will be in fourth place. Into the carousel at the moment. I believe that is carousel 2. No, that was carousel 1. So Alex will be heading into carousel 2 shortly. And then pretty much onto the back straight after that. Oh, went in a bit deep there. Thankfully kept it on the brakes into carousel 2 here. And then a sweeping left, a double right onto the straight. It's a long double right though. Very fast long double right as well, and then the long straight frame. I'll just quickly check in on Julian. It's Julian at the moment. Oh, Julian actually coming across to the finish already. So Julian comes across the line, takes home fourth place. Actually going into the pits. Will he cross the line like that? And Alex on the back straight. I don't know if Julian has crossed the line. Maybe he needed to have a splash and dash. Hope not. That would be quite interesting. And Alex comes across the line to take P2. Great result there for Alex. Let's just have a quick look at Julian. If he has gone to the pits. All right, so that is the end of the race. We'll be back shortly for our interviews. Stay tuned and remember to hit the like and subscribe button if you're still watching and you enjoyed what you're watching. We'll be back shortly. right, welcome back, everybody. We are at the end now of the 2024 Endurance Series, round 5 from the NORDSCHLIEFE. 25-kilometer circuit, 2.5 hours. That is quite a long drive for our drivers. Of course, I'm commentator Dennis Mitchell, and I'm joined now by our top three drivers from the top teams. So we have with us, we have Matteo Castellani, we have Alex Gadicki, and Monet Duploy. Let's start with Matteo. Matteo, I know your English is very bad, so I'm not going to ask you questions. I'm just going to say, if you would like to give us anything that you'd like to say about the team, whatever is easier for you to say, just give us some information about your race.
Thank you. That was not a big deal to bring the car home, so Lorenzo did the big effort. And I'm sorry for Davide because he have some problem with the current in Bologna because there is very bad weather. And so I want to thank the team Shiba for the effort to the effort is very important for our as drivers, and they are very, very, very kind people. And that is.
If you'd like to perhaps have a word in your native language as well.
Sì, assolutamente. Io ringrazio tutto quanto il team Shiba, sono veramente fantastici. Poi adesso portare la macchina alla fine è stato veramente facile perché Lorenzo ha fatto veramente ha fatto la parte del missile in questa gara non aereo. E Davide purtroppo ha avuto una grande sfortuna con la corrente, purtroppo non riusciva a guidare a causa di 2 interruzioni inaspettate. Ho provato a prendere il suo posto, ma ho avuto problemi anche con il visore, allora sono tornato da Lorenzo per l'ultima parte di gara. E sono contento per la vittoria del campionato e saluto a tutti quanti, a tutti i partecipanti e anche a tutta l'organizzazione di Sigma Experience.
Grazie, Ben Fato. Did I say that right?
Thank you very much.
All right. And then, of course, to second place, Alex Gadicki. Alex, first of all, how do I pronounce your surname? I'm never too sure. I'm saying Gadicki. I'm not sure if I'm butchering it, but very well done on second place. And perhaps also just give us an idea of what happened in your race, because your pace, you didn't have the fastest pace, but you were very consistent. You kept it clean, and you got a second place in the end. So congratulations, and tell us about your race.
Thanks a lot. It was much fun. From the first time I've trained for this race, my target was to get consistent speed to get the finish line without any accidents, not to risk too much, not to get out of the street. And so I drove a little bit slower than the others, but any fights I don't want to fight. I let people go because I want to get my pace and not another pace. And at the finish I see I was second, and this was great because normally I'm not in the front of the row.
Well, it just shows to get there, you first have to get there. You know, your pace is the second thing. You want pace, but first you need to make sure you finish. And you did a great race.
Yeah, thanks. It's congratulations to the other both 3 drivers on the podium. It's fantastic. Now I need a shower, and it was great. And that's a race. The circuit I told it in the chat for where it's a race. The NORDSCHLIEFE is 2 hours far away from me. Normally I go there with my son to show the races, and now I drove and get the second place. That's great.
That's fantastic. Perhaps then, Alex, you could also give us a little bit of your native tongue as well. Perhaps I presume it's German, so give us a bit of feedback in your German.
Ja, hat richtig Spaß gemacht, das Rennen zu fahren. Zweikämpfe wollte ich aus dem Weg gehen, von daher war das Ziel einfach ankommen, und durch die Fehler von anderen und Ausfällen hat es mich dann bis auf Platz 2 vorgespielt. Das war schon grandios, und so hat das richtig Spaß gemacht. Dankeschön. Thanks a lot.
Guten Tag. Well done. Very well done there. Then, of course, off to Monet. Monet, great race for yourself as well. Much the same story. You just hung in there, avoided all issues. You had 1 or 2 of your own, but they were certainly less than the others around you. I think with one of your issues, you maybe cost yourself second place, but you still managed to bring home a podium, get third place. You kept it on the road, and for the most part, it was quite a clean race. You did have a couple of scary moments, but talk us through your race.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, congrats to Matteo and his team and Alex. Alex and I seem to have the same pace really throughout the race, but for the first pit stop, I came in, actually chose, for some reason I couldn't remember which pit lane it was. So I went into the wrong pit lane where there was an invisible barrier, so that cost me about 2 minutes of damage. So I fixed that up. And then went out again, got into a groove, and Andre, to no fault of his own though, he tried to move out the way for me because as I was lapping him, and I just touched a wheel on the grass, spun, hit the wall again. Had about 3 or 4 minutes of damage then, and then just tried to bring it home in the end. But I really enjoyed it. 2.5 hours is a long time to drive solo, but managed to keep it on at the end, and yeah, it was enjoyable for me.
Yeah, I think 2.5 hours on any normal circuit is not as bad as 2.5 hours around here. It is definitely quite something. 2.5 hours solo around the NORDSCHLIEFE.
Yeah, and Julian and Carrot jumped into Julian's car for a bit, which made it interesting for a bit, but unfortunately he had issues with his wheel. But yeah, I think if he never had issues, I think it could have been really interesting for the top 3, well, for third place.
Definitely. But congratulations on our top 3 and well done. And hopefully we see you all at the next round, which will be Daytona on the 24th of next month.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to drop you all out, but congratulations on your podiums and the victory for Team Shiba 1.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, so nice to have an international podium. We had a Italian team in P1, we had a German team in P2, and we had a South African / Caribbean team in third place. So nice to have a nice mix on the podium. But of course, it brings us to the end of this round 5, which means next round will be round 6 from Daytona, the 24th of November. So this should be a quite exciting round and into the championship. It's a shorter circuit, so after the NORDSCHLIEFE, I'm sure it'll feel a lot more exciting for the drivers. Probably a lot more action there because they'll see more cars. Hopefully we'll have more of the field. We expected to have more of the field here, but unfortunately we didn't. So fingers crossed we can go out with a bang on the final one. But until then, hopefully you all have a good month. And remember, we do have other racing coming on. So we have next week, we have round 9 of our GT3 ACC series brought to you by thesafeboys.com, and then we'll have round 10 the week after that, and then we'll have a couple of fun races before we announce our next series, which is likely to be series in rFactor and ACC. We're probably going to do a GT4 series in ACC maybe, and we might even be doing a Formula 1 series at some point. And then we'll also be doing some form of rFactor series. We're just not too sure exactly what that's going to be. It might be a touring car series, British touring car, whether it's an old style British touring car or modern style British touring car, we're not too sure. So we're going to be announcing some things in the near future. So please keep your eyes on all the announcements, and remember to always head over to thesimgrid.com. We are there. Our community is Sim Experience SA. You can join our community and any events going forward, you can sign up there and get all the details, and then head over to Discord to do all the chats and all the other communications. But until the next race, whether it's the next race, which will be the race next week in ACC, or whether it's the next endurance race at the end of next month, have a good time, and we will catch you all at the next one. Cheers, everyone.